Willie Mays Baseball Cards, all 56 Wax Pack Dandies, Part 2. If you're joining us for Willie Mays Baseball Cards for the first time, this is Part 2 of a 3-part video. If you'd like to catch up or move ahead, you can find links to Part 1 and Part 3 in the description below. If you're ready for Part 2, then here are the Willie Mays Baseball Cards issued through Wax Packs in major sets during his career, Part 2. Note, card values gleaned from the PSA auction prices realize tool using the most commonly graded condition for the set in question. 1960 Topps Willie Mays All-Star number 564. Maybe the most innovative among all Topps All-Star designs, the Monster 60 design has become immensely popular with collectors over the years. And a swinging primetime Mays casting his giant shadow against the classic background makes for yet another hobby icon. PSA 7 value $200 to $350. 1961 Topps Willie Mays number 150. Did Topps expect Mays to get traded before the 1961 season was out? You have to wonder, given the unimaginative hatless shot they rolled out for Say Hey that summer. After all, that was the treatment usually reserved for scrubs, or guys who changed teams too quickly for Topps to keep up, photo-wise. Still, it's a 1960s Willie Mays card, so it can't be all that bad, right? PSA 8 value, $750 to $1,000. 1961 Topps NL batting leaders, Roberto Clemente, Dick Groat, Norm Larker, Willie Mays, number 41. This card, showing the National League's batting leaders for 1960, looks sort of upside down, with Roberto Clemente and Willie Mays at the bottom, and Dick Groat and Norm Larker at the top. The good news for collectors is that Mays' less than prime spot on this card has helped keep prices inside the hobby stratosphere. PSA 8 value, $125 to $150. 1961 Topps Willie Mays MVP, number 482. In 1961, Topps ran through the men who had won MVPs through the company's card-making history, beginning in 1951. Mays made the cut by virtue of his 1954 National League title, and the resultant card is a stone-cold beauty, except for the airbrush cap. You have to assume that Topps didn't want to show the old New York logo, since the Giants' move to San Francisco was probably still pretty raw for many. Still in all, this is a pretty snazzy card, and you can always break out your orange magic marker if you want to fix it up. PSA 8 value, $400 to $600. 1961 Topps Willie Mays All-Star, number 579. Willie Mays always made big news wherever he went in baseball, so it was fitting that he graced one of the first Sporting News All-Star cards. Featuring a smiling Say Hey bursting from a newspaper, the card offered up some interesting reading in the background too, if you could decipher the print. PSA 8 value, $500 to $600. 1962 Topps Willie Mays, number 300. Another love it or hate it design, 1962 Topps brought back the wood borders collectors hadn't seen since 1955 Bowman, but with a different motif. Here, each player's photo is stuck to a wood background with one corner rolling up. Mays looks right at home, working his bat and smiling with the ballpark behind him. This one is tougher, condition-wise, than cards from 1961 and 1963 forward, so we slip back to the PSA 7s for pricing here, before returning to PSA 8s for the 1963 cards. PSA 7 value, $1,200 to $1,500. 1962 Topps Manager's Dream, Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays, number 18. Willie, Mickey, or the Duke? With apologies to Brooklyn Dodgers fans, the debate really came down to Willie or Mickey. And that's a debate that may never be settled. What was settled long ago, though, is that Manager's Dream is a collector's dream and a hobby icon that's just about on everyone's wish list. PSA 7 value, $600 to $700. 1962 Topps NL Home Run Leaders, Orlando Cepeda, Willie Mays, Frank Robinson, number 54. Sort of lost in the glare of the Roger Maris Mickey Mantle tandem assault on Babe Ruth's single-season home run record in 1961 is that another pair of teammates were pulling off some pretty amazing long ball feats of their own that summer. Topps served up a reminder that next spring, though, celebrating Orlando Cepeda's National League home run crown, as well as Mays in the runner-up spot. Poor Frank Robinson could only manage just a distant honorable mention here, despite nabbing 1961 National League MVP honors. PSA 7 value, $30 to $75. 1962 Topps Willie Mays All-Star, number 395. Another year, another Willie Mays All-Star card. This one features opposed action. How's that for an oxymoron shot of Mays powering through the strike zone, with some green grass, some stands, and a huge chunk of blue sky in the background. Yes, this card is a winner. PSA value, $100 to $150. 1963 Fleer Willie Mays, number 5. If you can't beat the local card manufacturer, well, you can always try cookies. That's what Fleer did in 1963, breaking free of Ted Williams and the all-time greats after a couple of years to issue a set of 67 cards featuring then-current players. Cookies, not gum, were the main products, and the cards were the premiums. Topps didn't buy that story, and neither did the courts. But it lasted long enough for another pretty nifty Willie Mays card to be born. PSA 8 value, $500 to $600. 1963 Topps Willie Mays, number 300. Meanwhile, Topps gave us a mostly in-frame shot of Mays, complete with some other dude's head coming out of his shoulder. So could that be Mays' secret, that he was actually two guys? Maybe. Or maybe it's just a funky photo. Still, a fun card though. PSA 8 value, $1,800 to $2,100. 1963 Topps NL Home Run Leaders, Hank Aaron, Ernie Banks, Orlando Cepeda, Willie Mays, Frank Robinson, number 3. What do you do when the top 5 guys in the National League home run race are all future Hall of Famers? Why, you put them all on one leader's card, that's what. Topps was so sure they had a royal flush with these 5 dudes, that's exactly what they did. And out of them all, Mays took center stage, courtesy of his 49 dingers in 1962. PSA 8 value, $500 to $600. 1963 Topps Pride of NL, Willie Mays and Stan Musial, number 138. Mays was smack dab in his prime in 1963, while St. Louis Cardinals legend Stan Musial was in his final season. But on this card, the two baseball icons come together as the collective pride of NL. Sheesh, just how many great memories can you cram into one hunk of cardboard anyway? PSA 8 value, $250 to $300. 1964 Topps Willie Mays, number 150. What do you think Mays is looking at down there to his right on this card? Probably not a young Barry Bonds, since Mays' future godson wasn't born until July of 1964, after this card was created. Whatever is down there, it gives us an interesting shot of the legend to contemplate while we fight the hunger pangs brought on by the card's orange creamsicle accents. PSA 8 value, $1,200 to $1,500. 1964 Topps NL Home Run Leaders, Hank Aaron, Orlando Cepeda, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, number 9. Another year, another run of Hall of Famers at the top of the NL Home Run Parade. This time around, Robinson fell off the leaderboard and Mays slipped to 3rd, but at least we get bigger pictures of the 4 dudes in question. PSA 8 value, $200 to $400. 1964 Topps Giant Gunners, Willie Mays and Orlando Cepeda, number 306. And just in case you couldn't get enough of Mays and Cepeda, Topps gave collectors another sunny dose with this Giant Gunners card. This one wasn't just a candid shot either, as a bit of planning and choreography went into getting the 2 sluggers lined up just right, bats cocked and ready to rock. PSA 8 value, $125 to $175. 1964 Topps Thompson NL, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays, number 423. Musial may have been gone by the time 1964 rolled around, but Hank Aaron was still smashing baseballs and doing just about everything else you could want from a diamond superstar. So yeah, Mays still ranked as part of the tops in the NL, but his card mate was no slouch in his own right. PSA 8 value, $500 to $700. 1965 Topps Willie Mays, number 250. This card is a bona fide hobby icon. Part of it is the design itself, featuring a rah-rah pennant motif that makes you want to head out to the ballpark. And part of it is the thicker looking Mays, ready to head into the home stretch of his career, but still super dangerous. And a healthy dose of it is Mays' 1965 performance, 52 home runs, and another MVP award. And finally, add in the cameo for this card in the 1982 Kmart set that brought the whole thing to a new generation. And all the pieces were in place to build a hobby legend. PSA 8 value $1,100 to $1,200. This is the end of Willie Mays Baseball Cards Part 2. Look for the link in the description below for Part 1 and Part 3 as they become available and uploaded to YouTube.